Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to, well, I don't even know what to call this. It's some XCOM 2 on display, but I wanted to just update for those of you that may be interested in seeing some XCOM 2 action up here on the channel. Now, I think I've probably stated this in the past when mentioning XCOM 2, is that it's very different than anything else I've done here on the channel. A lot of my games are more, open world or stealth oriented, first-person shooter oriented. We've got multiplayer action, stuff like that, and XCOM 2, quite a bit different, a strategy game. There's a slower pace to it all, but it certainly is a good time in there. I'm probably gonna get what I think I'm gonna do is attack on the bulk of this episode while I just shut up, and just let it roll. I'll throw in one of the missions of the campaign I'm currently running. It was a little, I've just been, testing out the game, seeing if I would enjoy playing it to some sort of a close or some sort of an end, and maybe do it up here on the channel. Would it be fun enough? And I think so. I also wanted to test out, as you can see up flashing up on screen, which is really the point of this episode. You can see there's several characters. If you can read the names that are in the list, I mean, everything we've seen so far is they're all just fictional, comic book characters or video game characters, and But my plan is, or what I'd like to do for the series, if I'm going to do it up here on the channel, is put it out to all of you who would like to have a character created within the character pool of XCOM 2, so that you'll be utilized in the squad. You'll be out there in the action with a character of your own that I can yell at and bitch at. And once in a while, give a slap on the back or something, for a job well done. Right, but I've already got a handful of guys created. Channel regulars, friends, and viewers that are just kind of familiar faces, whether it be here on YouTube or on Steam. And so a few guys have got created. Although I did really get kind of lost in the idea of creating all these fictional characters and trying to do something. Some of them look pretty good. Some of them look really good. Some of them look pretty good. A couple of them, the options are somewhat limited. They're decent enough to create some nice variety out there, to give you some choice in your character creation, but they are somewhat limited. So some of the looks I was trying to pull off fall a little short, but they're not too bad. And some are more variations on what that character might look like in XCOM 2. So I'm putting it out there. Anybody that wants to have a character, is interested, maybe getting a little excited about seeing some XCOM 2 action here on the channel, if that's your thing, and you've been around for a while. You don't even have to have been around for a while, but I'll certainly, guys that have been, or people that have commented, familiar names here that have popped up here on the channel in comments in the past, are obviously going to get some sort of preferential treatment when it comes to having their characters created, because they're more, those people are more familiar to me. But everybody can feel free to, if you want to have a character built, you want to have me build a character, and I'll tell you that Pagan Man is styling. Good Lord, Pagan Man Far Cry 4. When I hit that design, I was extremely pleased. I just knocked it out of the park with him. I think he looks really good. The monocle does it all. We're running into here's old Brooklyn. I really didn't know what to do for you. I just thought I'd do something hard ass, badass, and a little snaky, and that's what you got there, Brooklyn. So if you want to see a couple of changes come in, you let me know. Of course with Fiji, Fiji, this was totally just like, this is an exaggerated YouTube image. Your YouTube avatar, your YouTube thumbnail. This is like an exaggeration of that brought into the the 3D realm. And a few other guys, the Gun Nut from my Splinter Cell days, and he was running alongside me in those matches. So there's Doug, and there'll be a host of others that will filter on in, and there's not too many, but I would like to get some more. The more the merrier. The way the game works is that I just recently tested out the current player pool, the character pool of created characters. I've got about 25 built now at this point in time, and I thought I'd just try and test that out, see how quickly they appear in some sort of campaign. So I started something else, and right out of the gate, I had a couple of the created characters on the squad, and then more were filtering in as time went on. So, you know, if I were picking up rookies somewhere, chances are one of them would be one of my created characters. A couple of you guys, Brooklyn, you died first mission you were in, dude. In my little test campaign that I've been running, you know, 2 kills for Brooklyn, and then this is the thing, the beauty of this game is that you can be having a great run through a mission, and you know, if for some reason if you let somebody get into your blind spot, you know, just things can go wrong really quickly in this game, especially if they target the person who your point man, who's really going to pull everything together on what you've been trying to the kind of the strategy you've been trying to establish, you know. But yeah, Brooklyn, they got the high ground on you and ripped you down. But the game, the beauty of it is that, you know, guys will die, and there will always be more room and always be more soldiers to be able to hire on, and whether I'm finding them out there via mission or rescuing them, or, you know, whatever the case may be, or simply paying for their services and hiring them onto the team. There's lots of options out there for bringing in a kind of a steady flow of characters, and the beauty of it is that you'll get, you know, after a mission, if somebody took some damage, you know, that person will be injured, could be gravely wounded for, like, you know, 20 days, 22 days, 25 days, something like that, up to that level, you know, probably longer still. So, and characters can get shaken, and I just thought it's a really cool idea to be able to kind of have this platform where I've got a small audience here on YouTube, and I thought just for shits and giggles and to have some fun with it, if those of you that do tune in want to see yourself in a character in the game that I'm playing, I thought that would be just a blast, you know. So it's open to everybody, you know. If you want to have somebody, if you want to have me build somebody for you in the game to use, then leave it in a comment, and, you know, I mean, some basic details, nationality that you like, and it doesn't necessarily have to be true, but nationality, you know, skin color would be ideal, unless you don't care one way or the other, just so that I can get the look that you want, and you know, male, female, and like a name. Now the name comes in 3 parts, and I have to have at least 2 of those in there. There's a first name, a last name, and a nickname, and the first and last name have to be in there, because when I'm creating a character, I'm basically overwriting another name, and for some reason I can't leave it blank. So at least give me 2 names as part of your description for your character. 3 names would be ideal, like a first name, a last name, and a nickname. It doesn't have to be true, it doesn't have to be accurate, but at the very least give me a nickname or something that you want to be regarded as or addressed as in game. I think that's about it. You can go into some further details if you'd like to have a specific look. The armor patterns come in 2 colors, so you can give me a couple of colors and I'll try and whip something together for you. But yeah, it's open to everybody. I'm going to spend a few days, you know, just kind of building characters up, and then probably start capturing some sort of action for this. And I'm going to get a full campaign run, hopefully. That's the intention. That's the idea. I'll tell you, I've been getting whooped on in this game at times. Like I said, things can go wrong really quickly in this title. The mission you're going to see here play out, we come out for the most part unscathed, but, you know, it's just the way it works. I mean, I can be having a great run through a level, and then all of a sudden, just a little bit of carelessness will stumble upon a pocket of enemies that come in at just the kind of the wrong position while I'm still dealing with a couple of other guys, you know. And they end up just kind of circling around and playing it beautifully and taking out the one man that's kind of holding your strategy together. You know, that everything's kind of hinging on him being able to carry out his attack or something along those lines, you know. And often I'm finding you're finding yourself against the clock. I don't remember that being such an important part of the gameplay in XCOM. What was it? Enemy Unknown? I think that's what it was called. You know, there were a lot of these missions, these earlier missions that I've done, and again, I haven't gotten too far into the game, so I haven't even gotten into any sort of hard missions yet. But often in these, you know, these easier missions, you have to be able to accomplish your task in a certain number of moves, and it can just, some of it's really close. Like, you have to be spot on in your movements, in your attack, in your sweep across the battlefield. And if your guys are missing a few of those shots for 1 or 2 turns, and you're not taking out the enemies that are springing up, it's going to be a mission fail. You're going to have to fly away with your tails between your legs and your heads bowed in shame. And that's if everybody's coming back alive. Because if a mission's going wrong, there's probably people dying. And the thing that really does turn the tide, I found, are the sectoids and their mind control, their tomfoolery, their mind trickery. Yes, they get right into your head, and the worst is when you lose a character to like a mind control effect, the one that you're really depending on to be there, your rock for that particular strategy, tactic, or mission, right? And that's the worst, when you lose somebody to, they get mind controlled for a couple of turns or something like that, and turn against you, and then you're left with the decision: do I want to kill my own man here, or at the very least wound him severely? Or do I want to just try and avoid them and try and sweep around? And then, of course, that takes more turns. And when you're running against the clock and you've only got a certain number of turns to complete a mission, that sets you back. So I'm finding this game really enjoyable. I'm finding it a little tougher. I'm probably only going to play it here on Veteran, which is kind of the standard difficulty. I was thinking about maybe going Commander. I don't know what the differences are going to be, but just on Veteran early on here, I've been having some massive setbacks where I can't do it. But there are missions that a couple of missions that in kind of just my dry run campaign there, that I've just kind of been dicking around, and my test campaign, I guess what you could call it. Some of the early stuff just not coming through for me, So anyway, I think it's a pretty awesome game. I've been enjoying it. If you like strategy games, obviously turn-based strategy is what it would be. Then this is a really, this seems to me to be a real step up, at least early on, from what XCOM Enemy Unknown was. So I'm looking forward to really sinking my teeth into it, and hopefully you'll see it up here on the channel. Hopefully I'll hear from some of you that want to, there's people, obviously there are some people that I'm gonna continue, even if you don't leave a message. There's some viewers that that have been around the channel long enough that I'm going to create avatars or characters for you, just for shits and giggles, just for my own enjoyment, and even if you're not planning to tune in. But for those of you, the options out there, you want to give me a few details to help me decide what to make your characters look like, by all means. So everybody and anybody, welcome to leave me some details there, and I'll try and whip some characters together and get this rolling soon. Appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to let the rest of the mission play out. So that's really what's making up the bulk of this episode. You saw some of the early characters. If you want to say, well, I'd kind of like to look like this guy, even if it's one of the the kind of the modeled after one of the fictional characters, that's okay, but there will be some changes because I want to keep them kind of true to their look, But if you want somebody big and bulky like the Hulk, that's cool. You can say that, and I'll put a different color pattern on you. And if you want somebody kind of menacing looking like Voss or the Joker, or something like that, whatever the case may be, or wild like a Morton Joe, that's cool too, like a psycho type of looking character. That's easy enough. You can say, yeah, I'd like something that kind of looks like that, and I'll try and do it for you. Anyway, yeah, the rest of this mission is what's making up the bulk of the episode. I'm going to cut out now. We'll let the rest of it play. You can be the judge if you want to. If something like this might be interesting for you to tune in and watch here on YouTube, well, this is the time to make that judgment call. So appreciate you stopping by for this. Hopefully that was informative. Hopefully some of you do leave some details. Those of you that have been created, if you want to see a couple of changes made, by all means, let me know in the comments as well. Appreciate it. Until next time, remember why it hurts. Later.
On the move!
System infiltration in progress. not getting anywhere! Overwatch! Negative damage.
Help! Help! Someone help!
Whoa!
¡Va una granada! Focus!
Okay! Target neutralized. Well, would you look at that?
Voy a la posición designada. Moving on target location. Taken care of.
On the move! Affirmative, covering now.
Moving out! Queda claro. Running.
Solid copy. We're near the objective.
Menace 1-5, we've got a line on the target. Move to protect that gear at all costs.
Advent troops here.
Location confirmed.
Entendido. En movimiento.
Orders confirmed. Moving out.
Easy now, soldier. That is not good. Draining ammo, fast!
I'm on it.
Blanco neutralizado. Se me está acabando la munición.
Got it covered.
Shot wide.
Creo que estoy sangrando. ¡Vigilad los flancos! ¡Se mueven! Allá voy. Aquí, toma.
Status confirmed. All hostiles are down and the area is secure. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.